What's up?
Hey,
Solid start. Solid start.
solid start. So, it seems like our short strategy is paying off. At least, I don't know. We're getting some feedback from people watching our shorts, so that's good.
We're talking
I'll get
about
into that a little
vertical
later.
video content,
Yes.
not the strategy of us wearing shorts and people making comments about our shorts, which, FYI, I am wearing shorts. Now, if you go to youtube.com/@thewalkcar, you won't be able to see me wearing shorts because I sit down for this, and that would be weird if you could see my shorts. But you can see us record this podcast and how amazing it is. I don't know. Whatever. I'm Phil Royle. I am one of the co-hosts here at this podcast that we've been doing for nigh on half a decade.
Hard to believe.
And we're concentrating on shorts now.
Ed Sanchez, yes, Phil's partner in crime on podcasts and various other ventures in the automotive biz, some form or another, for nigh on 2+ decades. I'll leave it at that. And imparting our illustrious wisdom to you weekly.
I just had lunch at somebody's house with, actually, I had lunch. This is complete. Nothing to do with anything. So fast forward if you're not interested.
Apropos to nothing.
I just had lunch at somebody's house. I'd never met her before, but she ran the PR agency that led the Toyota Grand Prix, the celebrity race for Toyota.
Oh, okay.
It was like 32 of the 34 years that they did that. So I just met her, just had lunch at her house. And she asked me, go through your career. Tell me what you've done. Who are you? And so I did my little pitch. And while I've been doing this for, as you said, like 2 decades, man, I can sum it up in about 30 seconds. It's kind of depressing. It's a lot of automotive stuff. But when you actually break it down, it's like, yeah, and then I did this. And then 5 years later, I did this. And then 15 years later,
Kind of variations of the same theme.
yeah. And then, 4 years ago, we started this podcast. And here I am.
There you are.
Doing shorts. Having conversations about shorts.
Doing shorts. Is it my turn to talk about shorts?
Yeah. You talk about what you want to do now.
So we're getting quite a few viewers on shorts. Yay. Thank you, shorts viewers. Appreciate your patronage and comments.
Your short attention span.
Your short attention span. Working in our favor. But if you're enjoying this and you're a subscriber, we are getting new subscribers. We do have a full-length podcast. If what you see in the shorts intrigues you, those are snippets from our longer form, usually 30 to 45-minute podcasts. So those are available in your favorite podcast player. Apple Podcasts, YouTube Music, I guess, is the thing now. Spotify, we're there.
Did you just record a shorts promo for the podcast in the podcast? Is this like a turducken of podcasts? It's a shorts within a...
Yes.
It's a podcast. It's a short within a podcast within a short?
Short. There you go. Very, very meta and not Zuckerberg.
You're blowing my mind. This is like Conception. This is...
Anyway, so get back to shorts. So we've gotten some interesting comments. We got some very encouraging ones. We've gotten some ones that are, I don't know, I think they're just kind of trolling a little bit.
No.
They're like, oh, you're full of it, blah, blah, blah. So,
and I hate to tell you, with these shorts, you're only going to get a snippet of the information. So yes, it might seem that we are full of it. It might seem like we're not arguing the complete or seeing the complete picture or arguing both sides, because in about 30 seconds, you don't have time to show the complete
30
story.
seconds to a minute and a half. But anyway,
Yeah.
So, but one comment actually caused me to stop and go back and kind of do a little bit of a deeper dive on something. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. So in one of the shorts, I said that the U.S. is a net energy importer. So for most of the U.S.'s history, that was true. But since November of 2018, that has not been the case. Since then, we have been a net energy exporter. So it started late 2018. 2019 kind of started the trend. And basically since then, we've been a net energy exporter. So
now, is this got to do with less usage in America? Or is this got to do with more
I think just more production.
Okay.
Predominantly more production. However, now that you mention it, gasoline consumption has gone down.
I forget the year, but we hit peak oil. Like, it is decreased.
Peak oil or peak consumption?
Or peak, I think it was peak oil, wasn't it? It's like the world in general hit. Like
globally, yes.
Yeah.
But the U.S., I mean, since, I'd say since around 2010 plus, it's just in terms of production. So globally, peak oil's probably come down, but U.S. is like a super producer now.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to say, like, peak gasoline usage peaked. I'm going to have to go back and look at the exact numbers. I want to say like in the early 2000s. I want to say like 2004, 2008. Gasoline usage peaked, and at that point, it's just, I mean, it hasn't dropped off a cliff, but it's kind of steadily gone downward. Most people attribute that to better fuel economy. And
I was about to say, thanks, Obama.
Cafe standard. Exactly. So, I mean, we'll see. I mean, now that Trump is basically...
Man, I crack myself up so much in this podcast. Nobody else finds it funny but me.
But basically, Trump has effectively gutted the cafe penalties. So we'll see how much of a difference that makes. And if, people start buying gas guzzlers again. I don't know if that's necessarily going to happen. I think the trend is kind of set. And I think, regardless of your political affiliation, unless you're so rich you don't care, or you're just like, you're going to drive a truck no matter what. I think most people like spending less on gas. So
it's a very controversial statement you've made. Most people prefer spending less on gas. Yeah.
So anyway, so I stand corrected. We always appreciate the comments. If they challenge or disagree, just don't be a jerk about it. But people will be. But anyway,
it's the internet.
Yes. So a car that I don't know. I mean, when I usually hear this name, I would say most people would think it's just kind of humdrum transportation. Nothing particularly exciting, although there have been exciting iterations of this car over the years.
Like the one I drove for years.
So what's the first thing that comes to mind when I say Corolla?
My commuter car that I put 318,000 miles on. Glorious miles. Glorious miles.
Solid, reliable transportation.
Yeah. It is, it's a sensible little commuter car. That's what it's always been. Except I did drive the Corolla S. Mm-hmm. I don't remember what year. 20.
Have you had a chance to drive the GR?
Whatever. No. But I did drive the S and manual for like a year. And I went and did track days in it. It was great, but it was never fast. Now, GRK, different beast. Anyway,
so I guess at the Tokyo Auto Show, Toyota pulled the sheet off what they're claiming is the next generation Corolla. Now, a little pretty edgy looking, I think. They claim this is pretty representative of what might be coming to market in 2 years.
Looks wise?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Wow. So link in the show notes. Yes. There's an article to Insight EVs. The car looks great.
Yeah. It's not, I mean, it was like, wow, that's not what I expect for a Corolla.
Yeah. I'm a little confused by the cut on the jib of the front windows.
Front window, because it kind of drops way down.
Yeah. Like a Ford's pickup.
Yeah, because it kind of cuts down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if that'll necessarily make production as is.
This thing's sharp.
I mean, more visibility is never a bad thing in my mind. So,
Why are we
I'm not
talking about
opposed to
this?
Why are we talking about this? Because this is Toyota's kind of following BMW and kind of all of the above powertrain strategy.
Uh-huh.
So they're going to offer this internal combustion hybrid and EV, although not fuel cell that they've announced, but we'll get to more of that later.
We can hope.
So, I don't know. Yeah. Basically everyone's like, oh my gosh, this thing is so cool. So
It looks amazing.
yeah.
I
To me,
absolutely love
the
it.
exterior looks more production feasible than the interior to me. The interior is a little more concept-y.
Yeah, to a degree. I mean, as long as they keep the what has now become traditional gauge cluster for Toyota, where you can't actually see the cluster behind the steering wheel, then
That's their new tradition.
yes. Then as long as that's still there, then that's cool. You know that this isn't production ready at all. The interior pictures show the gas and the brake are not. They like go through the firewall. They're not. Those are not production ready.
I did not notice that, but
Yeah, they're very futuristic looking, but the gauges, everything, I don't know. It's all kind of doable. We're seeing seats like those now. Those are maybe a little on the high end, but I could totally see this. Where I'm curious is it one chassis for everything? So gas,
Globally?
hybrid, and electric. It's a single chassis, and then they're shoehorning everything into one? Or are they going to do multiple chassis? So you get like a skateboard with the EV, and you get like a semi skateboard with the hybrid, and then you get a non skateboard. You get a tub with the gas.
I'm not an engineer, but my guess is they might have variations on the skateboard per se. That the same top, that a common top hat goes. So basically the body, but the floor pan is different between the different models. So
which is fascinating to me.
Again,
we don't know if that's
speculative.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's true.
That is how I would do a vehicle like this. You take the top, and then you do three sections. You do basically a battery, and then you've got one that's a half battery, and then one that's just a tub, and that's your gas version, and that's how you do these. It's completely flipped versus how vehicles were done with like Ford and General Motors back in the day. You would have the chassis would always remain the same, and then they just drop a new top on it. So you'd have the Suburban and the Yukon were literally identical. It's just, well, even there, the body even looked the same. But that's a bad example. But you would have like a Ford and a Mercury or, whatever.
Lincoln or whatever,
Yeah, and the body would be different, but then the chassis would be absolutely identical. The potential now is that it's flipping, and that it's the cap stays the same, and the underpinnings are what change. So, we don't know that's the case, but that's how I would design this.
ICE and hybrid could have a fairly similar body pan, I guess, for lack of a better term.
And I seriously doubt ICE would be ICE only. It would probably be hybrid, plug-in.
Well, the
EV.
trend with Toyota is they're going basically hybrid everything.
I think everybody's going hybrid everything.
The RAV is all hybrid now. The Camry's all hybrid now. Maybe in some emerging markets they might offer like a diesel or something. But I think for most developed Western markets, probably the US, Europe is still, diesels are kind of fading out, but there's still a little bit of a market for them. But my guess would be for the US market would probably be hybrid and EV.
Did they mention anywhere in this the front wheel drive versus rear wheel drive versus all wheel drive?
I think it would be far-fetched if it was rear-wheel drive. My guess would be front and all.
This could be a case where it is front-wheel drive for ICE, all-wheel drive for plug-in hybrid, and rear-wheel drive for the EV.
Well, that's one of the advantages of EVs is the motor is generally so compact, it doesn't really matter where you put it. You do front drive, rear drive, whatever. It's just kind of... they could. I don't see them offering a purely rear drive. I could see them doing all-wheel drive and like the Sienna and the RAV So the all-wheel drive RAV, the all-wheel drive hybrid RAV there's no mechanical connection from the engine to the rear axle. It's basically what they call an e-axle.
Mm-hmm.
So probably for the Corolla, for all-wheel drive hybrid version, if they make that, it would be HSD, hybrid synergy drive, front drive, and then a rear electric motor. That's how I see that playing out.
I would love to see this as rear-wheel drive.
I'll tell you, I don't know if they'll admit to this. I think they were inspired by the Kia K4, because that was kind of a metamorphosis of, I think the immediate predecessor vehicle was the Spectra, I think. I want to say they changed, or maybe it was the Spectra or the Forte. I can't remember what came first. Anyway, it was their kind of compact Corolla-ish model, and then they started renaming everything like K whatever, so K4, K5, and the restyling that came with the K4 was like, whoa, like,
yeah.
I mean, for that class, it was like really pretty radical. In fact, I saw one a couple months ago on the road. It was at night, and the taillight signature on that is very eye-catching. I don't know if you've been behind one at night, but it's kind of got the ring light, and it's pretty big. So it's very, like, at first I was like, what? I said, I think that's a K4, but I had to come up closer and see it. And then the side profile, it's I wouldn't say, I don't know if I'd call it a beautiful design, but it's a very avant-garde, kind of edgy, eye-catching design. And for the compact sedan class, really stands out. So I personally feel maybe they were inspired by the K4 and said, yeah, let's step up the edginess a notch. So anyway,
we have no idea whether, if anything with this, do we? This was just something that they unveiled.
I mean, the belief is this previews the 2027 model, but how much of this will directly translate to the production model, I don't know. But I think that's kind of showing the direction. Of course, I mean, so I'll give you a case in point. I'll tell you what I was totally caught off guard by. And I think, I want to say 2022 is the Prius redesign.
Oh, yeah. No,
that
we
came
both...
out of... I was like, what?
Yeah, neither of us, we went to the LA Auto Show. Neither of us, I think, knew anything about it. And we walked in to the room and we're like, the heck is that? And still, to this day, there's a guy a couple of houses down from me that's got one. And so when I go for a run, I pass it. I look at that thing every single time. Like, it is a sweet looking car. And so this, I think, is right around those lines. Like, this is amazing. Now, it helps that the wheels on it are probably like 20-inch wheels in this concept.
I think the concept is 21. So that's not, I don't think that's production feasible for that class.
Yes, but
I mean, maybe I could see optional 19s. Maybe. Yeah. But
yeah.
So the wheels are going to be downsized some, but I don't think it's inconceivable that they could go this direction with the styling, because case in point, when I saw the Prius redesign, that was like, wow, I was not expecting that.
Yeah.
So
no, Toyota got its groove back with some of its designs.
Yeah. So we'll see. I don't know. I mean, it's last time I got excited about a Corolla was the GR. So, but I don't know. This looks pretty cool. So, speaking of which, I mentioned the K4, and now the new model that got a lot of buzz was the EV4, which was basically the EV version of the K4, effectively. So they showed two versions of it. They showed kind of a crossover-y, kind of wagonish body, and then a sedan, like a fastback sedan. And they even showed it, I don't know if it was New York but they showed it in the US with the implication that, oh yeah, we're going to offer this in the US. And now they're evidently kind of tapping the brakes on that, saying, maybe not. Or like, they're not saying no, never. They're saying not immediately. So, I wonder if this has anything to do with the ICE raid in Georgia, but.
Oh, I've forgotten about that.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Like, that came and went, didn't it? Wow. Huh. That's interesting. I was looking at the pictures going, the EV4 is not a very attractive vehicle.
It's a choice.
Maybe it's got something to do with some.
People say.
It's a choice. It's a definite choice.
Yeah.
That I could see them going and having some. What do they call them? Groups, survey groups, where you get a bunch of people in there. Focus groups, and them all saying, "Really? I'm going to spend $40,000 on that? No, thank you."
Well, I mean, if you're talking about the sedan, I think probably that's not the dumbest move because sedans, sell like week old sushi anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So, I thought the kind of crossover wagon version, I thought that looked kind of cool. But my thought is they're kind of shelving this and they're going to focus, I think, probably on the EV3, which is basically effectively kind of like not the Soul, because I think that would be the EV2 would be kind of the electric Soul, but why am I drawing a blank with this? The Sportage, I guess, if they're still calling it that. So the EV3 would roughly kind of correspond to like a EV version of the Sportage. So my guess is that's going to be the next big model in the US. EV4, we may not see it. Maybe wait till next generation. Who knows?
You don't think they listened to our podcast from like 2 weeks ago and we're like, we're not hitting these specs that, for the perfect EV for this price range. We need to cancel that EV4 and we need to dial it back and get a vehicle in that's like around 28 to 30, no more than.
I don't feel Kia's really chasing the bottom of the market anymore. I think they've kind of ceded that to, I hate to kind of say this, but like Nissan. I kind of feel like Nissan is kind of, now they're turning around. So I don't want to throw too much shade on them, but I feel that in the last few years, Nissan is perception's kind of been a budget brand, whereas Kia keeps kind of moving upscale.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, maybe Kia's like, let Nissan have that.
Nissan worked hard to become a budget brand. They,
yeah, I don't know if you've heard the term online, big Ultima energy. I guess it's a thing. So anyway, who knows when and if we'll see the EV4 in the US. Kind of a bummer. Cool looking car, but
no.
They still got the EV6, EV3. I think is pretty imminent. So speaking of a vehicle we cannot get in the US, and may or may not.
This was disappointing to me. Now,
being a Mazda fan.
Yeah, so I want Mazda to succeed. And they have not really been trying when it comes to EVs.
No.
But the closest thing that there was this Mazda 6e that we could not get in America. Wasn't it? It's a Chinese-built car, isn't it? I'm going off memory. Yeah,
it's basically a rebadge of a Chinese model.
Yeah.
Basically.
And was not sold in America. I don't know what countries it was sold in. Presumably China and...
China, Europe,
elsewhere.
Like Asia. Yeah.
But it looks like a Mazda 6. Sort of.
Yeah, it's good looking. I mean...
And even though the specs weren't great, but Mazda always, they can do more with less. Mazda's always been good at doing more with less. And they did less with less with their EV that they brought to America.
With the MX-30.
With the MX-30. And that didn't do well at all. So this, I was like, this vehicle, it looked great. I mean, it still looks great. At the back, whatever. But the front, I don't know. So this review is not shining of the car. This is the Autopian. And your TLDR of the article, which is why I didn't read it, was meh.
Yeah.
What didn't they like?
But I mean,
they didn't like that it was 4,500 pounds and only 250 horsepower?
Well, among other things, yeah. That it's not... He was like, it doesn't really feel like a Mazda. It's too... Well, no. Well, I mean, it's a Chang'an, so it's what it is. But yeah, it's overweight, underpowered.
80 kilowatt hour battery, so it's under batteried. What you think?
Nah, I think
for a
4,500
pound car.
Well, no.
This weighs 1,000 pounds more than your Model 3.
Well, almost, yeah. about 800 pounds.
And
but yeah.
20 kilowatt hour more of battery, less than 20 kilowatt hour more of battery.
I consider, I mean, I've got the dinky. I mean, I've seen some estimates. My battery's as small as 50 kilowatt hours, which is tiny. But
I wouldn't admit that
anyway.
in public.
So I consider basically anything over 70 to be acceptable. So 80 for this size class, I think is okay. But to your point, it's offset by being 4,500 pounds, which is what a Suburban weighed 20 years ago. 240 horsepower, 0 to 60, 7.8 seconds. Yeah, I mean, it won't. It's not a rolling roadblock, but you know, you can't say much more about that. So yeah, I mean, I love the style. I mean, I think this thing looks fantastic. I love the styling. It's a lift back, which I'm also a fan of. My TLDR on this is if they added about 60 horsepower and dropped 400 pounds, I'd be interested. But as it is right now, not really.
Do we know the estimated price if this came to America?
Looking at the specs, I would guess around 40-ish as is.
I don't know if that's good or bad.
Well, no, I mean, to me, this is simple. If Mazda's listening, add 60 horsepower, take out 400 pounds. I think this is a surefire winner. But these specs as is, it's not really moving the needle for me.
No. It's disappointing that this wasn't, I don't know. It's actually hard. It's hard to tell because we've gotten to the point with EVs where if things aren't 0 to 60 in 3 seconds and 350 mile range, it's like, well, what good is this? And it could be that this is just a good commuter car. Like a nice, high quality.
Yes, and I'll give you that, but I think Mazda over the past, I'd say probably at least the past decade, has really tried to cultivate this performance image. Well, especially in the U.S. market. So
I think that they've been doing performance thing for a while. They went,
premium.
They went premium,
mm-hmm.
And I don't remember when that was. 2010s, early 2010s, somewhere around there.
I think it kind of started with the CX-9 is when they started kind of really pushing pretty hard in that direction. So whenever that came out.
And they changed the styling of the Mazda 3 to a higher end. Like the Mazda 6 came out, then that pushed the styling of the Mazda 3, and they went very premium. And you look at the pictures of the interior, and I think it's nice.
Oh, interior's beautiful, yeah.
Like this Alcantara. No, what was I gonna say? I wasn't gonna say
and
call
it's got
it
like
Alcantara.
I was
gonna call it. What was that?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
No, Corinthian leather.
Oh.
That's what I was going to call it. Only the finest Corinthian leather inside. Yes. The trunk looks like everything looks fine. I do like the lift back. The rear end is a little weird to me, but I do like the lift back. Everything about this looks great.
Except the specs.
The specs. I wonder if the uninspired part of this is the fact that they claim 0 to 60 in like nearly 8 seconds. And that's just not what you expect anymore from an EV. Everybody gets into an EV and you expect to have your neck snapped. Yeah. And that doesn't need to be the case.
I'm not even asking for like plaid levels of performance. If this was 0 to 60 in like 6 flat, to me, fine. It's fine for me. But
I think this is on the low end of acceptable for acceleration.
Well, especially, I think it's styling, and granted, I think that the average speed in China is like 12 miles an hour, so they don't really care about going fast quite as much. But I think for the U.S. market, for a vehicle to have this kind of styling, I think the inference is this is a sporty vehicle. It's fun to drive.
That is kind of what Mazda's dug itself at this point, isn't it? They've got a handsome design.
Yeah, their styling. To me, of the Japanese brands, I think Mazdas are the best looking cars.
And you expect the vehicle to perform according accordingly to how good it looks and how striking it is. And this is a striking looking car, and it does look good. And to go back to the Corolla, that might be the Achilles heel of the Corolla, is to me, I see that and I think sports car, and it may turn out to be a Corolla.
Just a little commuter.
The Corolla may actually be a Corolla, and I'm thinking sports car. And I wonder if the Mazda 6e is kind of suffering the similar fate of it's dug itself a grave based on how good it looks, exterior and interior, and how Mazda's built this whole image of higher end over the course of the last decade and a half.
And so forth,
and then you produce something that still looks as good, but has the specs of a vehicle of the early 2000s. And now you're like, this is...
But I think this would not be hard to fix. I mean, as we've said many times, it's not hard to make an EV fast. It's not hard to add more power. It would not be that hard to upgrade the motor to 300 horsepower or whatever.
That literally might be all that's required, is to just put a different engine in there.
Now, taking the weight out would be a little more of a challenge.
I'm not as convinced that weight matters
it's achievable.
that much. So, like, and I'm a performance guy that's like, everything is about, with my race car, stripping the weight out and getting it to the minimum weight for the rules required and blah, blah, blah. I get all that. But when you're talking about a commuter car, like, about the only downside is you lose a little bit of range and you go through tires. Like,
I mean, it doesn't upset me that much, but I just think taking about 400 or 500 pounds out of this dynamically would do a lot to improve the driving feel.
Yeah.
Just the dynamics, the nimbleness.
Yeah.
I think
it would definitely, it would definitely take it to give it the Mazda feel. I think it would be fine as a regular vehicle at 4,500 pounds. At 4,000, it starts to get into, God, how depressing is that? At 4,000, it starts to get down to driver's car.
Remember, you used to think 4,000 pounds. Oh my, this thing's so heavy.
No, I mean, realistically, this should be like 3,500 pounds, but it's never going to be there. You know,
we're ways off from that. I mean,
but 4,000 would make it.
Model 3 performance is about 4,100.
Yeah,
and that's in the world of EVs, that's considered relatively lightweight.
Yeah.
So, anyway,
yeah.
Fan, but it still needs. I don't know. Still needs a little more baking time, I think.
But it's not coming to America, so who cares?
Probably not. So, so shifting back, we're going back to Toyota. So maybe I wasn't entirely surprised by the statement, but I'm a little surprised by how bold they are now, where they really don't care. They're just saying it out loud, what they've thought forever. So the Toyota's chief technology officer, I guess at the Tokyo Motor Show, said he wants the company to make ICE, quote, until the very end.
The end of the world?
I guess.
I mean,
until
there's
apocalypse.
There's the alien ship that's coming in from out of the solar system. Like,
so he said, this is Hiroki Nakajima. He said, in my personal opinion, I think Toyota Motor Corporation should be a company that will be making engines until the very end. So, and he went on to say,
you can take that as a positive or a negative. Till the end of Toyota. We're going to steer this right into the ground.
So another guy, I can't, because the head of Toyota's powertrain division, Takashi Uehara, said he likened high performance EVs to trying to enjoy fireworks on mute. Seen but not heard or felt. So I guess these guys are like really nostalgic for kind of like the mechanical sensation and the noise and that whole experience. It seems like they're really, I don't know if this is a generational thing or what, but they seem really hung up on that. I don't know.
I think I can get on board with what he said, and that it's high performance EVs is like trying to enjoy fireworks on mute. I get it. I understand it. For motorsports. For daily driving, I don't get it at all. Now, a little bit maybe. I do get, with my Yukon with a 6-liter, I do get a little bit of enjoyment out of listening to the V8.
Yeah.
Like, it does sound really good when I fire it up. When you drive along and you're like blah, 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 off the traffic light, like, it sounds really good. I really like the sound. If I had an electric Suburban or Yukon or Escalade, which I could buy now if I had $100 and something thousand, that if I suddenly have one of those and I did not hear that, I wouldn't miss it.
Yeah.
I really enjoy it when it's there.
Until
I
you
would
have to
not
fill
miss
the
it.
tank.
Yeah, there's that. But I wouldn't miss it if it's gone. What I got the vehicle for was hauling the family. Its added benefit is I get to feel like, oh, I've got a 6-liter version of an LS motor in this. And it sounds like it. And it's got its roots in performance world. And even though I'm driving a 3-row SUV that you dock, you don't park.
It originated with the Corvette,
that there is, and you can hear the performance, and you can hear that. And it does, bit of my like mechanical brain and my enthusiast is still there and goes, yeah, I like this. I do like it. But if it didn't have it, I wouldn't miss it. I wouldn't not buy it because it was missing that.
Yeah, it kind of seems.
But motorsports, I totally want to hear it. Motorsports, I want to hear it all. I want to feel it. I want to hear it.
Well, it almost kind of seems like they're framing it in that context of kind of more motorsports, more enthusiast kind of stuff. And I agree. I mean, I've never seen Formula E, but I mean, I could see how at least, that is dependent on driver skill and all that. So, I mean, I could see how that could be an exciting in its own way, but there is something kind of visceral and exciting about hearing, the engine roar and all that. So, but again, that's a very niche application. And so I kind of get it, but I mean, I don't know.
I think motorsports will have, this is a whole other episode. And I'll drop this analogy here and then we'll move on, because I think we've got a couple episodes in a few weeks that we need to pre-record. So maybe this is one of the episodes. But I kind of put motorsports events, and I'm a motorsports guy, I kind of put it up there with like carnivals. You go to a carnival and you want to hear the music. You want to hear the calls from the
step right up.
Yeah, step right up and do all, all this. And you want to hear the mechanics of the
you're going for a specific experience.
Yeah. And that it all works together. And I think motorsports is very much that way. And you take out the noise from motorsports and you lose the spectacle of it. And that is going to be very difficult to replace with EVs. But the idea of Toyota in general sticking to ICE till the very end because of a niche of motorsports is just ridiculous. Like, that's wild. I mean,
they have pretty deep pockets. So, I mean, they've got money for weird little side projects. So, I mean, I could see them doing this, but, I think to really like stake their flag in the ground. So you're going to take it out of my cold, dead hands. It's like, well, we'll see.
That's the bit I don't get. It's a tool for the job. You got the right tool for the right job. And I think motorsports, the right tool is combusting things.
Internal combustion, yeah.
And the right tool for a commuter Corolla is electrons. Call me crazy, but...
Well, I guess they're in their Toyota's crystal ball future, they're envisioning the Tacoma as a fuel cell.
The right tool for the right job. Let's not bring the right tool for the right job, apparently. What's the point of this?
So for many years, both of us went to SEMA. You remember those days?
Oh, I do. Dark times. No, I'd like to go back at some point. I could. Every year I could go, and I choose not to.
Yeah. So I guess they're showing this at SEMA. It's a fuel cell concept. So with all those leftover Mirai spare parts, I guess they shoved them in a Tacoma. And it's actually got a decent amount of power. It says combined 547 horsepower from front and rear motors. And probably the weirdest, most interesting thing is an exhaust water recovery system, since the byproduct of fuel cells is water vapor, effectively. So it says the system captures and filters water produced by the powertrain, can be used at the campsite for washing items and showering.
Okay.
They actually don't recommend drinking it.
I was about to tell a story of when I went to a water treatment plant in college. And
they...
No, so yes, exactly. So we got to the end of the tour and they dumped the water out from the water treatment plant after we've just seen how they process all the sewage, and they dump it out into the Brazos, because I was in Texas. And the guy said the water that we're dumping out in, down this sluiceway into the Brazos is cleaner than the water that is going in the Brazos, and it's clean enough to drink. This is like drinking water. And one of the kids said, then drink some. And he wouldn't. So when you were telling me about this water capture system with a Tacoma fuel cell, I was waiting for you to say it's clean enough to drink, and for me to be like, well, then drink some, and watch the exec go, no. But as long as they say showering, yeah, because like when I go camping, I have my 50-gallon freshwater tank. I never drink from that. And I disinfect that thing all the time. I probably could drink out of it, but no way. I will wash dishes and I will shower in it, but I will not drink. So, okay, at least there's some sanity going on with this fuel cell vehicle. Yeah. I like this. What gets me, I know that this has got nothing to do with production. I've worked with Toyota. I worked with them for a long time. Through not
they do all sorts of like skunkworks prototypes.
Yes, so through the department that will have made this, I've worked with that specific department for well over a decade at one point, doing special projects and stuff, and SEMA projects were one of them. And I know that this has nothing to do with the production arm of Toyota. This has nothing to do with Toyota Japan. This has nothing to do with any step in reality. This is some marketing, some PR person at Toyota thought this would be a good SEMA car.
Why don't we do this?
And they had a budget of an extra $250,000, $300,000, and so they had this built. And that is how this came to be. This has Toyota's not getting into hybrid Tacomas to go off-road. This isn't a special edition Tacoma later on.
Well, there actually is a hybrid Tacoma.
Well, not hybrid, hydrogen.
Fuel cell?
Yeah. They're not, this isn't going to be production, all this stuff. But I still would be all for this if there were more than 60 hydrogen stations in America, and half of those are probably out of commission, and none of them are probably in Las Vegas where SEMA's taking place.
Yeah, maybe one in the whole state of Nevada.
So I love the concept of it.
Yeah,
but
not going to happen.
It's never going to happen for many reasons. One is what I just said. This has got nothing to do with the production arm of Toyota. Like Toyota Japan probably doesn't even know this thing exists. But the concept of hydrogen is just, it almost now, and I started this when we started the walk car, like 5 years, however many years ago it was.
You were kind of pro hydrogen.
I was definitely on the pro hydrogen train. And now I think it's good for energy, long distance energy transport is where I'm now at. Yeah. I don't know if there's any other realistic use of this. Yeah. Although maybe back to motorsports, Toyota did do an internal combustion hydrogen race car several years ago.
It's kind of the worst of both worlds.
So maybe in that case,
I guess.
What's the last thing we want to talk about? And then we can get out of here.
So remember we talked about the Leaf being the quote perfect EV. So
or as close to
it as they currently have. So Edmunds tested the 2026 Leaf. They tested a Platinum Plus model, which is, I guess, the kind of their top of the line. So that has a official EPA rating of 259 miles, and they were able to get 310 miles out of it. Now there are some asterisks with this. Their EV range test is a little different because a lot of other blogs and outlets, they do like steady state 70 miles per hour freeway driving. So Edmunds is more of a combination. It's like 60-40, 60% city, 40% highway, average speed of 40 miles an hour. So again,
probably more representative.
Certainly, Edmunds is based in Southern California and the Santa Monica area, Metro Los Angeles. So for that area, I think it's very representative of what typical driving would probably be. But, if you're in, rural Kansas, maybe not. So.
You know what that number is? I'd need to Google map it. But you know what that number is representative of?
What?
Their commute from Santa Monica down to the Porsche experience which they use as their test facility.
Oh, in Carson, I think.
Yeah. That is literally their commute is 60% city, 40% highway driving, average speed of 40 miles an hour. That is literally their commute from Santa Monica.
Yeah, but that's not 310 miles.
No, but if you just did that loop, that's what you'd be doing.
Oh, maybe.
It's funny that that's their test, though. Like, I'd have to Google it, but I'm pretty sure that's how they're getting their range test done, is just driving down and back to their test track at the Porsche Experience in Carson.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's pretty encouraging for the Leaf, though, that it's overperforming its range estimates, especially considering the first-gen Leaf, underperformed and only got worse over time. So I think mainly the shift from an air-cooled to a liquid-cooled battery, I think that's probably the biggest change but good for the Leaf. I mean, I'm getting more and more respect for it every day. So
the new one looks good. Seems to hit the price points. I think we're pro
Good
Leaf
job,
now.
Nissan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
They're crawling themselves out of the bargain basement. So
the basement that they put themselves in. They're slowly taking that full circle, aren't you? In this podcast. That's it?
I think, I mean, I had one other item, but you're saying, I don't want to talk about that. So.
I don't.
We don't have to.
Yeah, maybe.
I think that'll go with one of our future episodes.
Yeah, we'll do that. Okay, everything we talked about, show notes are embedded into the thing that you are listening or watching. You want to watch? You go to youtube.com/@thewattcar, little @ symbol. Or you can go to thewattcar.com. There'll be a link there. There's show notes and all of the embedded things, everything that you've got. There are, I don't know. What else is there? Social media. We're on social media. Not
YouTube
really.
Shorts.
Yeah, we don't really do much with social media. You can tag us. YouTube Shorts is where it's at. Look at our shorts.
That should be our new motto.
Yes. Wattcar.com/advertise. I don't know. That site's not, that part of the website. I think we're going to revamp that. Because now that our numbers are changing. So we'll have to revisit that. No. That's boring. That's inside baseball that nobody else is interested in. And probably if you're listening to an EV podcast, you're not interested in baseball either because you're a nerd that's into EVs.
Nerd.
I only just discovered the World Series happened.
Yeah. How about that?
Yeah. I found out the day before it ended. So I guess I don't need to worry about missing that for a while. What's that?
Who actually ended up winning? Was it the Dodgers or the Blue Jays?
The city that I live in.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
And I missed it. Missed it all. I don't know.
The more you know.
The more, yeah. And apparently I know nothing. So, all right. Next week, same of the same. I don't know.
Got some special episodes coming up, but
yes,
what that's going to be, we'll see.
Even we don't know. See ya.
Bye.